Hey, it's Matthew. I want to talk about the metaverse. Lots to talk about, what is the metaverse? Where's it going? What are people going to do in it? I want to quickly show you and tell you a story about where the original metaverse may have started. So what you're looking at here on screen is a program called Second Life, secondlife.com, and it may be the original or at least one of the original metaverse apps available. It started in 2003 by a company named Linden Lab. And by 2006, it became really, really popular, with potentially a few million people joining Second Life itself. It's a 3D virtual world. You go in, you create a character, an avatar, and you can interact and move that character throughout this open world. It's not a game, it's just an open world where people can build things and interact with each other. And you're seeing some of this on screen right now. This became incredibly popular, and major brands were all entering this world and exploring how they could use it to leverage their brand. So companies like IBM and Cisco and Adidas and Nike and I think cosmetic companies, retail companies were all creating presence inside this virtual world. And what you would do is you would buy land, virtual land, and you would build buildings and other infrastructure on that land. And you can make it private where only certain people are invited. You can open it up. People were creating nightclubs. They were building games within the experience. The cool thing about things like nightclubs too is they'd actually pay other human people to have their avatars come to the nightclub, in some cases dance at the nightclub. You could work virtual stores and get paid real money, and literally hundreds of millions of dollars over the years of real money have been transacted inside of Second Life as a virtual world. I'm going to show you what my avatar looks like. This is me here. Let me move that video out of the way. That's my original avatar. And you notice it's kind of rough around the edges, and that's because the computer's technology wasn't as robust and powerful back in 2003, 4, 5, 6 as it is now, where you can get much more refined characters. And check this out too. This is me at a virtual meeting, a meeting inside of Second Life. This is a press conference. And the press conference is given, there's a woman up in front here. I think it's a woman from Asia, and she became the first virtual millionaire or first millionaire virtual land in the world. And I mean our real world, not just the virtual world. So she had purchased enough land, virtual land, inside of Second Life that by the time this press conference was given around 2006, her land was worth an estimated over $1 million in real money. And she became that first potentially virtual millionaire with virtual land. And this is me. You can see me sitting in the chair listening to the press conference. And this is all live, so you actually see avatars and characters, and you can have a headset on and hear what people are saying. And you can see a lot of the characters are in green. That's because, again, the computer technology was not as powerful. So if you were not interacting with someone or they were far away from you, you may not see them in full developed form as you might with me here. So that's kind of another cool story. And this all happened again in Second Life back in 2006. And then I'm going to show you this screenshot here. So one of the big brands that got into Second Life at the time was IBM. And IBM and some full-time people actually focused on exploring these types of worlds and see how IBM could participate. And IBM had its own island, built its own buildings in this virtual island. And they had a global event, a global conference, first one ever hosted by IBM Global Conference. And they actually, put out a full press release from Armonk, New York headquarters about this event. And I happened to be the keynote speaker at that event. So you can actually see my avatar here on the stage, on this virtual stage with a microphone. And I've got my slides. And I'm actually talking about the future of learning and education and how there's a new segment emerging for educational gaming. And people from around the world came to this conference. You can see these are people's avatars. So these are all live. This is a live event, live avatars listening to this presentation. And these types of events were happening at that point, started happening all the time with Second Life. In fact, let me show you another cool thing. So because this was kind of a big deal with IBM making this a press release, a global press release, that press release got picked up by my local newspaper where my business is located. And check it out. So this is a photo of the front page of our local newspaper at the time. You can see 2006 here. And if we scroll down, there's the story of me doing this presentation for IBM in Second Life. And check it out. Look, my avatar is on the front page of the newspaper. I'm not sure if I may be the first person to ever have an avatar on the front page of a newspaper or not, but there it is back in 2006. So the question now remains, where is Second Life today? Does it still exist? And it still exists? Let's check it out. So there's secondlife.com. It absolutely does still exist. However, I don't know what exactly happened, but after 2006, 2007, huge amount of buzz. I as mentioned, all the brands going in, they all seemed to disappear. The buzz went away. Second Life didn't go away. Second Life still exists, as you can see. You can go and join it now, and it's much more refined visually and architecturally. And there are still people transacting in this world. I'm not sure if there's still a magazine. I remember back in the day, there was actually people publishing magazines about life in Second Life. But I haven't been back in a long time. I'll have to go back and check it out and see what new things are going on. But interestingly, despite all that buzz, and it seemed to be the future, it didn't really happen. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Facebook's metaverse. Now that technology's further ahead, now that people are much more comfortable using technologies and interacting online and virtually, where all that is going to go. But anyway, I thought I'd share that fun story from way back in the day. I'm Mathew Giorgio.